Today, we embark on a journey with one of the legendary figures in the world of technology, a genius, an innovator, and a visionary. Yes, the person I'm referring to is Steve Jobs, known not only as the co-founder of Apple, but also as a key figure in shaping modern technology. Steve Jobs revolutionized not only computers but also the music, film, and mobile communication industries. His story is one of success, failure, and incredible innovation. Welcome to the Just History YouTube channel. Steve Jobs was born on February 24, 1955, in San Francisco, California. Born as Stephen Paul Jobs, this child came into the world as a result of a decision made by a young couple named Abdel Fattah Jendali and Joanne Schiebel to give him up for adoption. However, there is a mystery surrounding Jobs' biological family and birth circumstances. His mother, at the time only 23 years old and unmarried, made the decision to give him up for adoption. Abdel Fattah Jendali, an immigrant of Syrian descent, later became a professor. Joanne Schiebel, on the other hand, hailed from Wisconsin and later became a management analyst. The story that begins with Jobs' birth is actually the beginning of a complex emotional journey. His mother, after giving birth to him, made the decision to give him up for adoption to a couple named Paul and Clara Jobs. This couple provided Steve with a nurturing environment filled with love, value, and knowledge as they raised him. Steve Jobs' birth and the subsequent story touch upon fundamental human themes such as family, identity, and belonging. Perhaps his complex beginnings became the source of his creativity and transformative power later in life. It was the mid-1970s, and the world of technology was rapidly evolving. During this time, a young Steve Jobs began to explore his interest in technology and his innovative spirit. Jobs turned to computer programming as a hobby to learn how electronic devices worked and to make something in this field. Meeting his high school friend Steve Wozniak was a turning point in Jobs' life. The duo became interested in the microcomputers Wozniak produced, which would later be known as the Apple I. Jobs immediately recognized the commercial potential of producing and selling these devices. In 1976, Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, and Ronald Wayne came together to establish Apple Computer Inc. These three individuals, who held their first meetings in Jobs' garage, laid the foundations for a company that would change the world. In the early days of Apple, the company's first product, the Apple I, was groundbreaking. However, real success came with the Apple II. The Apple II was a milestone in the personal computer industry and began to be widely used in homes and schools. However, tensions began to arise within the company due to Steve Jobs' leadership style and differences in corporate policies. In 1985, Apple's board of directors ousted Jobs as CEO. Jobs' departure from Apple was one of the first major challenges in his career. However, Steve Jobs' departure from Apple did not stifle his innovative spirit. He founded Next Computer and also played a pivotal role in the acquisition of Pixar animation studios. Next focused on innovative technologies such as graphical user interfaces and internet communication. Meanwhile, Pixar became a studio producing award-winning films that transformed the animation world. In 1996, Apple acquired Next, and Steve Jobs returned to Apple. Jobs' return marked a new beginning for the company. Over the following years, with the release of products like the iPod, iPhone, and iPad, Apple became one of the most influential companies in the world of technology. In 1986, Steve Jobs purchased the computer graphics division of Lucasfilm, which was then owned by George Lucas, and organized this division into a separate company called Pixar. Jobs' goal was to turn this technology-focused company into a pioneering studio in the animation world. Initially, Pixar produced short films and commercials using computer graphics. However, their breakthrough came with the release of Toy Story in 1995. Toy Story was the first feature-length animated film entirely produced using computer animation and achieved tremendous success. The film not only provided viewers with visually stunning experiences, but also captivated them with its deep storyline. Steve Jobs' leadership at Pixar brought together the company's creative and technological achievements. He supported Pixar's creativity in its films and invested in technological innovations. Pixar continually improved the visual quality of its films and consistently delivered new experiences to audiences. Pixar's successful films became influential productions in the industry. Finding Nemo, The Incredibles, WALL-E, Up, Inside Out, and many more films are significant works that demonstrate Pixar's creativity and storytelling prowess. Under Steve Jobs' leadership, Pixar became one of the leading studios in the animation world, proving that animation could be an artistic and emotional form that appeals to audiences of all ages, not just children. In 2018, Disney acquired Pixar, marking the emergence of a strong partnership in the animation industry. With this merger, Pixar grew even larger and increased its impact. Now, let's reveal a few secrets from Steve Jobs' life that few people know. Jobs was vegan for certain periods of his life, especially during his youth, and remained vegetarian until the end of his life. This lifestyle choice was considered a healthy one and was part of his life philosophy. During his youth, Steve Jobs experimented with the psychedelic drug LSD. It is believed that this experience influenced his creativity and vision in later years. Jobs described this experience as one of the most important turning points. In the late 1980s, it is known that Jobs started a project called Unified Car after leaving Apple. This project aimed to combine high technology with the automotive industry. However, the project did not result in a commercial product and remained relatively unknown. After Steve Jobs' death, his family donated his brain tissue for neuropathological research to better understand why he experienced health issues before his death. The results were not publicly disclosed, and detailed information about this matter was not shared with the public. Jobs had a significant interest not only in technology, but also in architecture and design. He personally worked on the design and hardware of Apple Park, the company's headquarters, and closely managed the project. His passion for architecture and design laid the foundation for Apple's aesthetic and user experience-oriented approach to its products. Steve Jobs made the decision to resign from Apple in 2011 due to health issues and their impact on his work. Jobs had battled pancreatic cancer for many years and later underwent a liver transplant. These health issues significantly reduced his physical strength and energy. In his resignation letter, Jobs stated, "I am no longer able to fulfill my duties as Apple's CEO," and cited health reasons for his departure. However, before leaving, he had led Apple to become a global technology giant through decades of leadership and vision. While Jobs' resignation had short-term effects on Apple's future and stock prices, the company's foundations and culture continued independently of his leadership. Tim Cook was appointed as CEO in his place, and Apple continued to uphold Jobs' legacy and vision. Steve Jobs' final years were filled with both personal and professional challenges. In 2003, he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer and began treatment. However, the disease recurred in 2004, and he underwent a liver transplant in 2009. Despite these health issues, Jobs continued to lead Apple and guide the company's successes. The launch of the iPhone in 2007 was one of the pivotal achievements during this time. The iPhone revolutionized the smartphone industry and established Apple as a global technology leader. However, Jobs' health problems and treatments gradually weakened his physical strength and energy. In 2011, he resigned as CEO of Apple due to health issues, and Tim Cook succeeded him. This marked Jobs' formal departure from his leadership role at Apple, although he remained actively involved on the company's board. Steve Jobs' health deteriorated rapidly, and on October 5, 2011, at the age of 56, he passed away at his home in Palo Alto, California. The news sent shockwaves through the technology world and was met with profound grief. Jobs' death not only affected the Apple community, but also deeply impacted the entire technology industry. His passing symbolized the end of an era and the loss of a legend in the technology world. His influence and legacy continued to shape the world, not only through Apple's success, but also as a driving force in innovation and creativity. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video.